Hey everyone, today on People Now, Kathie Lee Gifford joins a nation of fans honoring the life and lasting impact of Regis Philbin.
Lisa Marie Presley's ex claims she may relapse following the unexpected death of her son.
Also today,
when he was 8, I beat him in every sport when he was 8. So let's just put it there.
Bob Woodruff and his son Mac are getting competitive on their adventures hitting the road as a father-son duo on their new show.
Who Said I Love You First? New details about the beginning of Harry and Meghan's love story and life at Kensington Palace before breaking from the royal family.
All that and more coming up today on People Now. Let's go.
Hey everyone, welcome to People Now. I'm Andrea Boehlke. Jeremy, what's up? I saw you were out on a lake living your best life.
Yeah, great weekend. Little lake life action for sure. Let me just tell you this. I have water skied twice. Saturday was my second time ever. And I can't believe that, I had 3 tries and I got up. I'm a little bit probably overinflated about it. And I'm just doing the most basic thing. I don't do anything fancy, but I feel so accomplished after doing it. So anyway, thank you for noticing. I don't know if you were impressed or not.
I was. I'm very impressed.
Oh, good. Good. All right, well, there's so much to get to today, guys. Here's what you need to know and what's trending for your Monday. Lisa Marie Presley's ex, Michael Lockwood, is expressing concerns over her sobriety following the news of her 27-year-old son, Benjamin's death earlier this month. Lockwood filed court documents ahead of the former couple's divorce and custody trial, in which he asked the court to strip Presley of primary custody of their shared 11-year-old twin daughters.
The filing obtained by The Blast states this: Lisa Marie Presley's son shot and killed himself in her home, although she was not there at the time. With all due sympathy and respect, this creates a new and unaddressed twofold problem: the safety of the children and the greater likelihood of Presley to relapse into drug and alcohol dependency. A rep for Presley did not immediately respond to People's request for comments.
Last year, Presley opened up about her past addiction to painkillers and opioids in the foreword for Harry Nelson's book, The United States of Opioids. She revealed that she's grateful to be alive today. She wrote in part, "I was recovering after the birth of my daughters, Harper Vivian and Finley, when a doctor prescribed me opioids for pain." She added, "It only took a short-term prescription of opioids in the hospital for me to feel the need to keep taking them." Presley has attempted to keep her addiction private. However, details of her battle with sobriety had emerged in the paperwork filed during her divorce from Lockwood.
In the book, Presley specifically mentioned her children as the purpose to stay sober. On July 12th, Benjamin died of an apparent suicide. Following his death, a rep for Presley told People that she is completely heartbroken, inconsolable, and beyond devastated, and added, she adored that boy. He was the love of her life. In the wake of Benjamin's death, Presley's rep said that the star is trying to stay strong for her 11-year-old twins and her oldest daughter, Riley.
Kathie Lee Gifford is reflecting on her final visit with close friend and former co-host Regis Philbin, who died on Friday at 88 years old. Kathie Lee shared on the Today Show that the last time she saw Regis was just a few weeks ago and that she could sense much more fragility in him. She also shared what she'll miss most about her dear friend. Take a listen.
I'm just so grateful. I'm just so grateful the Lord gave me that final time. And it was so precious because when I talked to Joy the day that I found out, right after he had passed, she said, "Kathie, he hadn't laughed in a long, long time." She said, "I was so worried about him. He just wasn't," I think it was like Frank, he's just ready, you know? And so many of his friends had died. His dearest friend had died a week before of corona, actually. He was, ready to go. And she said, and the day that we came to have lunch with you, she said, was the last time I heard him laugh.
On Sunday, Kathie Lee shared an emotional Instagram post with a picture of herself and Regis. She recalled the 15 years she spent with him as his co-host. She wrote in part, "I smile knowing that somewhere in heaven, at this very moment, he's making someone laugh."
Amid the news of Regis's death, his family shared with us in part, quote, "His family and friends are forever grateful for his warmth, his legendary sense of humor, and his singular ability to make every day into something worth talking about." Regis's accolades include Daytime Emmy Awards for Outstanding Talk Show Host for Live with Regis and Kelly in 2001 and 2011, as well as Outstanding Game Show Host for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. He also received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2003 and a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Daytime Emmy Awards in 2008.
He is survived by his daughters, JJ Philbin and Joanna Philbin, whom he shared with his wife of 50 years, Joy Philbin. He was also the father to daughter Amy Philbin, whom he shared with his first wife, Catherine Phelan. Regis and Catherine had another child, son Daniel Philbin, who died in 2014. I imagine, just like me, Jeremy, you were shocked when you heard this and really sad. He is such a legend, and he's definitely going to be missed.
He's the kind of guy, one of those rare personalities that had such a warm spot in basically everyone's heart. So everyone kind of had this collective feeling of grief hearing of his passing, but of course we wish his family and close friends all the best. In the new book, Finding Freedom, Harry and Meghan and the Making of a Modern Royal Family, authors Caroline Durant and Omid Scobie claim that Prince Harry was the first to say I love you to wife Meghan Markle, and that the couple knew after 2 dates that they would be together.
The book also claims that the couple exchanged I love yous just 3 months into the relationship, and that they felt palpable attraction after their first date and became immediately obsessed with each other.
The authors claim that sources told them that the couple's first date lasted for 3 hours and that they didn't kiss. The book also states that the couple talked about charities and found a joint passion for wanting to, quote, make change for good.
It also claims that Prince Harry told his friends that Meghan was, quote, ticking every box, and that Meghan told a friend that she never felt this safe or this close to someone in such a short time.
The book also sheds some light on Meghan's relationship with Kate Middleton. It claims that while there were some awkward moments between the two, they were not at war with each other like portrayed in the media. But still, Kate did little to bridge the divide, and that she felt she and Meghan didn't share much in common aside from living at Kensington Palace.
The authors claim to have interviewed more than 100 sources, but Harry and Meghan have insisted that they were not interviewed for this book and did not contribute in any way to it.
All right, Sandra Bullock celebrated her birthday on Sunday with some close friends. Jennifer Aniston shared this picture on her Insta stories with Sandra and a small group of women all wearing masks. She captioned the picture, celebrating our girl properly distanced with so much love. Happy birthday, Sandy. We love you.
And in addition to celebrating her girl Sandra's birthday, Jennifer is also encouraging her fans to get out and vote. She reunited with her friends co-stars Courtney Cox and Lisa Kudrow for this video. Courtney was first to share the video on her Instagram in honor of Register a Friend Day, and it's stamped with "Friends don't let friends skip elections." She captioned it, encouraging her followers to register to vote and to tag their friends so they can do the same.
Jennifer also shared the video on her Instagram stories after she shared this meme of her character Rachel looking shocked. She captioned it, when you realize there are only 100 days until Election Day.
Lisa also urged her followers to register to vote and shared a picture from the video on her Instagram. You know, we always love a good Friends reunion, and it's great to see them getting together for a great cause. All right, stay with us. Journalist Bob Woodruff and his son Mac are telling us all about their new Disney Plus travel series, Road Trip, including what made them butt heads during filming and the scariest parts of the trip. Stick around for that.
What happened?
Our Yam was killed, but Professor Kane says we could still get an A if we figure out who did it.
He did not say that.
He basically did. You let me handle the nitty-gritty. In the meantime, I need someone to drum up suspects.
I can help you with that. I watch crime shows when I'm bored. You boys canvass for witnesses, establish a time frame and motive, and bring me a suspect.
Yvette Nicole Brown was so good as Shirley in Community, and she's the latest celebrity to swing by PeopleTV's Couchsurfing to share behind-the-scenes stories from some of her most iconic roles. She opened up to Couchsurfing's Lola Oguneke about why she thinks Shirley is such a great character. Watch.
And I'm not just saying this because I played her. I think she's one of the great sitcom characters. You know, she's weird and she's judgmental and she's violent, but she's also loving and faith-filled. And I mean, listen, look at this group of people that I got to work with. This was right after Drake and Josh. That's still, like, to this day, Drake and Josh in Community, I get stopped more on the street or in grocery stores, even in a mask, guys. Even in a mask, I get stopped more for these two. Yeah, it's crazy. For these two shows than any other.
Yvette Nicole also made a cameo in Avengers Endgame and revealed what it was like working with superheroes. Take a look.
Oh, Phyllis Jenkins.
That hair is perfection.
That mushroom is something else. That ain't nothing but 70s. And that polyester, y'all better get into it. I am so honored to be in that space with those two literal superheroes in human form in real life and as human beings. They both are lovely, especially that one right there. I adore him. He's my Twitter boyfriend, by the way. I don't know if you guys know. But yeah, no, this came to me because of the great Russo brothers and their connection with Community. They give cameos to lots of Community actors, and this was my shot, and it happened to be an Endgame. Like, come on. When God gives, he gives with both hands.
You can see Yvette Nicole Brown dive into more of her roles on Couchsurfing, streaming now on PeopleTV.
I wanted to connect with people in more of a real, authentic way.
I love doing this right now, but I love doing this with you.
My 10-year-old self would probably be pretty jealous of all the time I get to spend with you now.
All right, everyone. So ABC News correspondent Bob Woodruff and his son Mac are taking viewers on an adventure of a lifetime. This is so exciting. Their new National Geographic series Road Trip is streaming now on Disney+. It's a must-see. I'm excited to be joined by both of them right now. Bob and Mac, how are you doing?
We're doing great. We're together. We're not tired of each other yet. We're still hanging out together, so it's all good.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're getting along. That's always a plus. We have a lot to get to, but Bob, I want to start with this. So before we get into the show, can you tell us a little bit about your history as a correspondent and how it landed you in the hospital fighting for your life? Because it's a very intense story.
Yeah, so I have a long career in journalism. It's been, more than 25 years that I've, actually more than 30 years about since I've been started reporting. And I had I guess it was a tough time back in 2006 when I've been covering wars for a long time, and I was in Iraq and we were hit by an IED, an explosive device, and I was knocked out for 36 days. And I came back. Everyone assumed I was going to die, including my son, and somehow we fought it back. And after 36 days unconscious, I woke up, and it's been a recovery road since then.
Wow. Mac, what was that like for you, thinking that your dad was going to pass away?
Yeah, I was 14. It was definitely the hardest thing I've ever had to go through. And luckily I have 3 other sisters and an amazing mother who are all incredibly strong. And I think we're a lot stronger of a family because of it. And there's always a silver lining in an accident like that. And I think in a weird way, this show would have never been made had my dad not been injured, because he was at the height of his career at that time, and he was the host of ABC World News Tonight. And he probably wouldn't have had time to travel the world with his son for 5 months. So there's always a silver lining, and this is probably one of the best silver linings you could imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have a great perspective. Bob, did you ever think that you would travel like this again, especially after what happened? Were you scared to? Talk to me about that.
No, I've always traveled. Even since this happened, when I was badly wounded, I have not gotten off the road. I really continued to travel. I just kind of gave up covering wars. That was the compromise with my family, my wife, and my 4 kids. But I said I can still go, and I can cover conflict. So I spent a lot of time on the road overseas. I covered really Asia for the last 5 years. So I'm good traveling, and I go to places that I think countries that some people assume are somewhat dangerous. But I think I told to Mac, it's not so much which country you go to, but what you do when you get there, and how you approach the people, particular places you go to. So I'm still comfortable doing it. And Mac even likes going to these countries, so maybe he's got the same addiction that I do.
Yeah, it seems like he does. I mean, I think what's really cool about this show is it puts these countries that some people might be afraid of or not know a lot about, and shows the positive sides of it. I mean, why did you really want to do this show, and what do you hope audiences take away from this show? Mac, we can start with you.
Yeah, I think it clearly demonstrates that humans are very strong-willed people, and they can overcome a lot. And as my dad recovered from his injury, even though these countries have recovered from times of tragedy, and they've been defined in the media by one particular narrative. And so we went to go and cover a more balanced perspective on these countries. And it's not just about the negative. It's not just about the tourist ministry video of all positive stuff. It's somewhere in between.
Now, doing a show and traveling with your parents or with your kid, I mean, I imagine there are some rough points. I don't know. I mean, I love my parents, but we sometimes butt heads about things. So did that happen, or did you get along the entire time? I mean, what was this actually like? Let's give me the real truth here, Mac.
Yeah, I mean, we have a very human, real father-son relationship. I spent an inordinate amount of time with my dad, about 5 months straight, but not only just traveling, we were in the same cars together, sometimes sleeping in the same beds, always sharing a hotel room. And so there's just too much time together to not butt heads. I mean, we are also incredibly similar and somewhat stubborn, so we always think that we're right and only one of us can be. So, and we're very competitive too. My dad has always wanted to compete with me, and I've always wanted to compete with him, and I think that makes us better at what we do, but also causes us to butt heads.
But sadly, he won most of them on this trip, so he
had the advantage of being a lot younger.
I was gonna say, who usually wins between you two?
It depends. If it's newscasting, him.
Hey, well, listen,
everything else, me.
When he was 8, I beat him in every sport when he was 8. So let's just put it that one stick.
I'm getting revenge.
Yeah.
Well, what's a surprising thing you learned about your son while doing this whole experience, Bob?
I think, I saw an aspect of him that I didn't really know about. as much before. One, that he is very much in love with these kinds of trips, just like I am. Secondly, he's a very highly talented photographer and a videographer. So he is in the same world, and his skill at production. So, he's always done it, and that's been his job to produce. And I guess I'd never seen it in person.
In one of the episodes, the two of you help a tribe walk through crocodile-infested waters in order to catch one by hand. I mean, I'm not scared of a lot, but crocodiles I'm definitely nervous around. I mean, what was that experience like? Because, were you guys scared to do that?
Matt caught it, so you tell.
Scared, yes. I think we didn't do anything incredibly irrational on the show. So we were insured beforehand. This was a safe activity. It's something that they do all the time. In the marshes that we were searching through, that you weren't going to find a fully grown adult crocodile. It would have been incredibly dangerous for you. This is more of a nursery where the juvenile crocodiles exist. But was it scary? Yeah, it was definitely scary, because to search for such a deadly animal with just your bare feet was a very foreign concept.
Yeah, I imagine. Bob, what scared you the most during this whole adventure?
The ones I was most afraid of was food, which kind of food you eat. That's always the dangerous part in every country. And the second one, we went along this cliff right in Pakistan.
Not just one, multiple
ones with, there's no rails along the side, and there's gigantic cliffs, and they're very narrow, and you go around corners. It's a one lane thing. So we could have easily just gone over the edge and died instantly. So that's kind of scary.
Yeah, well, obviously you made it, and you made this amazing show. For people watching the show that want to travel to these places, obviously after COVID and everything, these places that used to be considered dangerous to travel to, what's your advice to them to stay safe in their travels?
I think just to prepare as best as you possibly can. Don't go to countries that might actually be dangerous. None of the countries that we went to were engaged in an active war. And like my dad said before, it's all about how you act and where you go within that country, not necessarily the country itself. The more research you do and the more prepared you are, the better. And I think that you put a decent amount of trust in humans, and you'll always be pleasantly surprised.
All right. Well, thank you both for stopping by and chatting with us. And everyone watching, make sure you check out their travels in National Geographic series Road Trip. It's streaming right now on Disney+.
All right, coming up tomorrow, Tina Knowles-Lawson is opening up about empowering Black communities to get out and vote.
Plus, former star of The Office, Creed Bratton, is teasing the possibility of an Office reunion, and if we'll get to see that anytime soon. I sure hope so. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Bye, guys.